And most of it has been quite critical reporting, saying that the text, the people who've seen the text say that it doesn't contain many of the issues that we're concerned about, and certainly many of the issues that the developing countries are concerned about. Those of us who followed for many years the WTO processes see that a lot of the kind of very, the backroom negotiations that we're so familiar with in the WTO might be arriving in the COP, and that's a cause for great concern. So I think there is some concern about the process and the risk that at the very last moment, at the 11th hour, this text will be sort of magically arrived and will undermine a lot of the work that's been going on for the past couple of years. And I wonder if any of the panellists would care to comment on this.
Let's take your questions now.
Yeah, maybe we should head around here.
Okay.
On how far we are from the finance figures, yeah. At the moment, there are officially no figures on the table at the UNFCCC negotiating forum. There are some estimates that have been put forth by developing countries, mostly. There is analysis outside of the UNFCCC by the EU, for example, which estimates that by 2020, about $100 billion would be required to be transferred to the developing world, from the developed world. However, if you break those figures down, you find that only about between 20 to 50 billion, and that's the range, would be in the form of public finance. Okay? And that is grossly inadequate from the point of view of the demands that developing countries are putting forth. So there's a big gap. Okay? But it's not just a gap of numbers, and that's what we need to understand. It's a gap of politics. And that is where the people come in. The people in the developed world need to make their governments aware that they want their governments to discharge their obligations, both moral as well as legal. Okay, so that's the first point. On the issue of emissions by cows, I mean, I'm told that Indian cows don't emit as much as cows out here do, because cows here are stall-fed with industrially produced feed. Cows in India graze freely and eat grass mostly, so their methane emissions are quite low as compared to the cows in the developed world. There was another question on Seattleizing of WT or of the COP. I mean, it's not something that most countries, especially the developing countries, would be happy with. And especially among the developing countries, the vulnerable countries like the island states or Africa, because what is happening is that the impacts of climate change are already being felt. And many island states actually feel the urgency of the situation. They want action to be taken immediately, because otherwise their survival is at stake. So the developing world, the countries want to engage in this process and want a sound, environmentally and socially and economically and politically sound outcome from this process as soon as possible. If you Seattleize the COP, then the chances of survival of some of these countries is going to be in jeopardy. So that's the first point I want to make about Seattleizing the COP. However, having said that, I think the experience that developing countries have had of negotiating in multilateral processes like the WTO is, I think, standing them in good stead now. Because, don't forget that these countries together did not allow the Doha round to be concluded of the WTO. And therefore, these countries do have the capacity, if they so wish, to not agree to a